Good morning, students. As we are dealing with the chapter Inside Our Earth, this is the last video lesson of this chapter. And in this chapter, we will study about the rock cycle. In the previous class, we completed our topic, the types of rocks. We studied about igneous rock, we studied about sedimentary rock, as well as the metamorphic rock. And the formation of all these rocks we studied. And in this class, we will study about the rock cycle. So what will be the learning outcomes? At the end of this video lesson, you will be able to do the following. Define rock cycle, explain the process of rock cycle with the help of diagram, outline the uses of rocks and minerals. Rock cycle. What do you understand by the topic? You must have studied about water cycle in your previous class. What is it? It's a process of cycle that turns back to its place. Like when water evaporates from the surface of the earth, rises into the atmosphere, cools and condenses into rain or snow in clouds, and falls again to the surface as precipitation. This is known as water cycle. Now what happened in this process? Water went to the atmosphere by precipitation, then it cools and condenses, and then again it comes back to the surface of the earth in the form of rain. So in the same way, the rock cycle is quite similar. Rocks sometimes become igneous, sometimes it becomes sedimentary, and sometimes metamorphic. Now, how does it happen? It happens in different conditions in a cyclic manner. The definition, one type of rock changes to another type of rock under certain conditions in a cyclic manner. This process of transformation of rock from one to another is known as rock cycle. So this is the definition of rock cycle, which says that if you correlate it with your previous class, I told you that igneous rock, it is the primary rock. Why? Because from igneous rock, the other two rocks are formed, like the sedimentary rocks and the metamorphic rock. So under what process? Under the process of rock cycle. Because when the igneous rock changes its form into sedimentary rock, then again into metamorphic rock, then again metamorphic rock becomes the igneous rock. So the process of transformation of rock from one to another is known as rock cycle. Now let us understand this topic with the help of this process. Here you can see igneous rock. This one is sedimentary rock, and the last one is metamorphic rock. The magma cools down, solidified, and become igneous rock. If you remember the formation of igneous rock, that a volcanic eruption takes place and magma comes out on the surface of the earth. It cools down, solidified, and becomes igneous rock. Then the igneous rock, we studied about the formation of sedimentary rock, that when the igneous rock rolls down, breaks down, then the sediments are formed. Now when the sediments are transported or carried by wind or water and settle at a place for so long time, the layers are formed and it is known as sedimentary rock. You can see here breaking down, transported in the form of sediments. So layers formed by the time millions of years these sedimentary rocks are formed. Then we studied about the metamorphic rock. When these sediments are subjected to heat and pressure, metamorphic rocks are formed. Now let us understand the rock cycle with the help of the figure or the diagram. See what we have studied. We studied that when magma comes out on the surface of the earth, it solidifies and it becomes the igneous rock. So here you can see magma, it comes out. Then with the help of the arrow you can see solidification. It means it cools down and solidifies, then it becomes the igneous rock Alright, igneous rock, when the weathering or erosion takes place, it collides with each other and it breaks down into sediments. And when sediments are carried by the wind or water and settles at a place, then the layers are formed and the sedimentary rocks are formed. Then we studied that with the help of arrow you can see when the sedimentary rock, as well as here you can see igneous rock also, when the sedimentary rock and the igneous rock, it changed by the heat and pressure under the chemical action. Both the rocks, igneous rocks and the sedimentary rocks, both the rocks, when they go under the great heat and pressure, the form is changed and the formation is known as the metamorphic rocks. Then metamorphic rocks further what happened? It melt down and it become magma, and magma again comes out, solidifies and becomes igneous rock. So this is how the rock cycle goes. Alright, as you can see, magma, when it comes out, solidification takes place, it becomes igneous rock. Then igneous rock, when it breaks down into pieces, the pieces are known as sediments, and sediments, when it is carried by wind or water, the layers are formed and becomes the sedimentary rock. Then the sedimentary rock as well as the igneous, when both the rock at its place, they go under great heat and pressure, they change into metamorphic rock. And metamorphic rock, as it is compressed, alright, so metamorphic rock, again the lower part of the, as you can see here, the lower part of the metamorphic rock, it is near to the crust. Alright, so the metamorphic rock, again it melts down and it becomes magma. Alright, and the same process again takes place. So this is what is rock cycle. And okay, so another you can see, it was completely label diagram of rock cycle. This one is, you can see, very clear one. Volcanic eruption, it takes place. Alright, the magma comes out, it becomes igneous rock. Then igneous rock turned into sediments, and sediments settled at a place by the factors are wind and water. Then the sedimentary rocks are formed when the igneous rock and the sedimentary rock, they change into metamorphic rock, and metamorphic rock further changes into magma. Alright, and again magma, it comes out when volcanic eruption takes place, and again igneous rock is formed. So this is the rock cycle. I hope it is very much clear to you all. Now let's see the uses of rocks. Hard rocks are used for making roads, houses and buildings. We use stones in many games like the 7 stones, Pittu, 5 stones, Gitti. Rocks contain minerals that are useful for industries. For example, iron ore is required in iron and steel industry, also used in making jewelry, etc. Like you have diamond. So rocks are used to make roads, houses, buildings, railway lines and many more things. We use stones. If you remember, I do not know, have you ever played or not, but there are games that people used to play in previous times, and it is Pittu, Gitti, Kit is also there. Rocks contain minerals that are useful for industries. Iron ore, it contains mineral. Then we have rocks, these are also used for making jewelry like diamond. Then uses of minerals. Minerals such as petroleum, coal and natural gas are used as energy resources. The precious minerals like gold and silver are used in making jewelry. There are many more uses of minerals and rocks. This is your homework to find out, to make a list of the uses of minerals and as well as of the rocks. Okay, so assignment. The 3 questions that you have to do: define rock cycle, explain the process of rock cycle with the help of diagram. Like I have given you 2 diagrams. You can also see your NCERT book. One diagram is there also. Prefer whichsoever is easy for you. Then third one, outline the uses of rocks and the minerals.